Alright guys, 101 Chamberlain here, otherwise known as James. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a bike check on my YT Capra AL 2016. I've had this bike for about 2.5 years now, and I'm going to sell it soon, so I thought it'd be a good idea to just give my thoughts and basically an overall review of how it has been over the past 2 years and any issues I've had, and just general thoughts on the most popular enduro bikes on the market. For those of you who don't know much about the bike, the YT Capra is the flagship enduro model from a YT direct sales German brand. It has 160mm of travel up front and 165mm in the rear. You've got 650B wheels front and rear. My current spec one is the base spec AL model from 2016. So it's kitted out with a RockShox Yari RC, RockShox Monarch Plus R, and a SRAM 1x11 drivetrain, along with SRAM brakes and a RockShox reverb. I've had the bike for just over 2 years now, and I've done about 1,000 miles of fairly hard going off-road in that time. I must say the spec has been absolutely bomb-proof, and I couldn't really have wanted to change anything on it in that time. The only things I've changed really have been brake pads, standard wear and tear. I've replaced the standard SRAM ones with Uberbike Race Matrix pads. I just find these have got a bit better performance in the UK conditions, and just generally awesome pads, great power, long life, and pretty cheap as well. The reverb failed on me after about 7 months of riding. So I sent that back to YT and got a warranty replacement of the newer gen reverb, and that's been absolutely no problem at all since I've had it. Suspension's all been absolutely fantastic, lovely plush. I mean, it took a little bit of time to get the setup dialed in. I'm not currently running any spacers in the shock. I think I've got the standard ones in the fork. I haven't added any in there. Wheels, I eventually set up tubeless after about 1.5 years of owning the bike. And I must say it's probably the best change I've made. Just so much less rolling resistance and so much better puncture protection. The tyres are the Maxxis High Roller 2s in the 3C compound, I believe, front and rear, 2.4 inch width. They've been fantastic tyres all year round. I've not changed them. Front one, as you can see, still got plenty of tread left on it after 1,000 miles. Rear one is looking a little bit worse for wear, and as you can see I have managed to put a couple of slashes in the sidewalls which I've had to repair over the time I've had the bike. So I'd definitely recommend getting something a bit meatier casing wise on the rear if you're planning on doing a lot of heavy rocky riding. However, grip wise the tyres have been absolutely fantastic. In terms of cockpit, we're running a race face effect stem and bars, 35mm length stem, 780 wheel wide bars with a 35mm diameter. Been a really comfy setup, not felt the need to change anything there. Brakes, I've shifted the levers to my preferred position and swapped them over from the European way that they come shipped as, so you need to swap the left and right brake levers over. Grips currently aren't the original ones. I've taken off the Sense ones and actually kept those for my new bike because I like them so much. Shifter is now a SRAM NX 11-speed. As opposed to the original GX 11-speed one that came on the bike. This one packed in after about 2 years of riding, so needed a replacement. In terms of the rest of the drivetrain, we've got a SRAM GX 11-speed mech, a little bit battered now but still works perfectly, paired up with a race face cranks and chainring. SRAM 10 to 42 even, sorry, cassette 11-speed, and a SRAM chain. The chains needed replacing, obviously, in that 1,000 miles of riding. However, the chainring and cassette is still going strong, much to my amazement, actually. The only other bits I've really needed to change has been replacing the bottom bracket bearings. Frame bearings are all still going strong. Obviously, the fork and shock have had their regular servicing. Headset bearings are still the originals, and the wheel bearings are still going strong as well. I've added the PT's DDAR push-ons, valve cap things. I got them free in an order from Uberbike, and they matched the colour of the bike vaguely, so I thought why not put those on. The saddle is the original YT SCG branded one, I believe. Possibly the most uncomfortable saddle in the world whenever I first got it. However, after 2 years of riding, I've got used to it, and it has definitely mellowed up a fair bit as well. And actually I'd rate it quite highly now. So in terms of overall performance, the bike's been absolutely amazing. It's really brought my riding on. It enabled me to try a whole host of new trails and types of riding that I just wouldn't have thought possible a few years ago. Really, really good bike for inspiring your confidence to try bigger stuff. And it's so forgiving when you're riding it. It'll climb all day long, and it pointed downhill, and it handles almost as well as downhill bikes. I mean, I know I've definitely done plenty of downhill trails on this bike and not been too far behind friends on actual downhill bikes. It's not that heavy, so it's, yeah, you can pedal it all day long and do some big rides on it. I competed my first enduro on this bike, and yeah, it carried me around all 30 or 40 miles of that easily. I think the limiting factor I've always found with this bike has been myself, not the bike. It's just encouraged you to keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, and it'll just keep on going. You'll always find your limit first, not the bike's. In terms of things I don't like so much about the bike, the paint job has been a little bit sort of cheap feeling almost. As you can see, there's quite a fair bit worn off on the top tube there, just from shorts rubbing against it over general riding. And same on the chainstays, you've lost a fair bit of paint here and here, and on the same on the other side, just from heel rub. I know this could have been solved with Invisa framing, but I was too impatient basically when I got the bike and just wanted to get out and ride it, by which point I thought there was no point really Invisa framing it after it had already had a couple of rides under the belt. I think one of the other things I don't like so much about the bike, which is one of the main reasons that I've chosen to swap this bike or sell this bike and buy the one that I have, is the reach number. I mean, this is a size large frame, and I think we're talking 435mm reach, which at the time was about on the money, but these days is feeling very short, and I definitely noticed that on some faster, rougher tracks. I competed in a student university downhill championships race recently, and I felt noticeably cramped in the cockpit on some of the rock garden sections. So I think that's the main reason for me really why I'm selling the bike. But YT have addressed that with their current generation of bikes. The reach numbers have become significantly longer in line with current market trends, and it's not been a significantly bad enough experience to make me not want to ride the bike. I mean, certainly it's not noticeable at all really, other than in those flat out rocky sections. So for your general everyday riding, absolutely perfect bike, really playful, jumps well, rides well, grips well, corners well, descends well, climbs well, just does everything well. So yeah, there you have it. There's my review of the YT Capra AL 2016. This exact bike is currently for sale on Pink Bike for £1,300. It's currently the cheapest Capra on the market. It's been a great bike. I'm going to miss it, but time has come for something new and exciting.